Hey, this is my final for my mythology class. And yeah, so the first question is, what is a myth? And a myth is a story that was told by like ancient Greeks or Romans or a lot of cultures. And it was like they used higher beings and magical powers to explain real life events and also to teach their kids and, honestly everybody values and stuff. And it was also to entertain because some of them made him comedic, and like some of the tellings of the Odyssey, like when Polyphemus originally was like super duper like scary and seen as like threatening, but I can't remember the name, but someone rewrote it and made it a little bit silly by adding new characters and making like Odysseus a little bit more struggling during it. So yeah. And depending on who's telling the myth, it may emphasize their own morals because, like how Prometheus his story can either be seen as being a heroic sacrifice or being about disobeying the gods. And honestly, it just changes the perspective of the reader because if you've read both like we have, it can be seen as honestly either. It all depends on your viewpoint, on like what you value as a person. And Greek and Roman culture was a little similar to our own. Like we both believe in gods, and we all value leadership, but we all are different because we in the modern era rely on a lot of science and facts to explain things. That's a car. Whereas back then they relied on myths and their own stories and word of mouth and all that. And also we're more lenient on gender roles, and like women can do anything, but back then they were just like housewives and stuff. And also a lot of us are monotheistic, like we believe in one god. Most of us do. Like no matter what your religion is, like Christian, Buddhist, Jewish, like you believe in one god. But back then they were polytheistic and believed in many gods, and honor was heavily important, like being seen with honor, like battling or war. Oh, and also they had slavery. We abolished that long ago, thank God. So that's another big one. Okay, and the retelling of a myth for my own purposes, I'm gonna do my favorite one, which was Medea and Jason. I love that one. That one explains how relationships, not all of them, some of them, are not stable, and how one person in that relationship would sacrifice a lot more than the other would. And the other just understands it but doesn't really understand the meaning behind it and how much love is actually being given. And in this story, Medea gives up her family and her status and leaves her home to help Jason gain his honor, and then marries him and has kids. And she just loves him so much. And then Jason, once he sees a better future when he can marry the king's daughter, he sees a better future for himself and is thinking pretty selfishly. You saw my old video on my actual thoughts about that, but that's how it can be seen. And he divorces her because he wants this better future for himself and his family. And then when Medea kills the king's daughter and king kills her own children, she basically takes everything from him. And that can happen a lot in real life, not like the killing and stuff, but because a lot of times one person will be a lot more deep in love than the other. And like if you were a modern day Medea, you'd be like showering your other person with gifts and getting all these expensive meals and always like listening to their feelings and not really saying a lot about you because you're just so infatuated with this one person, which can be seen as love bombing. So there's that to think of too. But if you're in Jason's point of view, modern, he would accept these gifts and not reciprocate them and just be like, oh, thanks babe, or thanks baby, like, you're so good for me. Oh, hey, look, there's another hot chick over there. Let me go get with her instead. And so That's how Jason could be seen as now. And the revenge aspect is a lot. It could be taken back to like a lot of vengeful exes, because there's a lot of people nowadays who carry grudges, like Medea did, and or try to make their ex's life living hell. Like nowadays, you could bombard the other person's like inbox on Instagram with like hate messages. You could try and ruin their social lives. You could tell all their friends about what they did to you. They can all these things. You can tell them their family how they were to you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, Medea and Jason kind of like today, honestly, except for the killing aspect. Well, hopefully not in the killing aspect, but it could happen. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This class was fun. Bye.